But I think second ban or first pick, because they just saw how powerful she was in the early game.
Well, there you go. Lyra is our first ban. As you just predicted, Healer is taken away. Are you expecting that simple Adagio ban to let the team psych each other out?
I don't think in the first game they're going to go for something else to try and tempt the Adagio. I think it's going to be a pretty standard Adagio ban.
Pretty standard version, yeah. Like I said, it's just like a feeling the other guys out right now. See what they go for. They may even eat into bonus time here actually, just to make sure, because Adagio, he can lose. We saw it in the last game. Adagio can be beaten with enough. I think enough burst, because his heal isn't consistent enough. It does do a nice burst heal, but with too much damage it does falter. But Adagio, as we thought, it has been taken out. What do you think we're going to see? We're going to see that very standard Lance pick up now, or maybe we'll see something different.
I think it's going to be a captain. It's going to be Arden, actually. I was almost about to say that. I should have with it. Arden is very interesting, because
such an interesting man. His life story is just a riveting read.
Yeah, you should read the lore on Arden. It is very good.
It is possibly the best lore. Anyway, but Arden has been picked up. We're going to see that Lance. It's Lance bet. I bet it's going to be Lance, because no one picks Fortress. Give me Fortress. Just because Fortress. I want to see him so bad. You've got your Koshka wish. I want to see a weapon power Ozo or a
Fortress.
weapon power Fortress. CP Fortress I'll be alright with, but I think weapon power Fortress is strong too, if not stronger in some situations.
Do you just like to go with the opposite of what everyone else thinks, Billy?
No, because genuinely it's right. Like, have you seen me go 1v3 with weapon power Fortress? He is insanely powerful. That was a few patches ago, but he's only got stronger. So, and now weapon power Ozo, I wouldn't pick Ozo because there's no healers, CP or weapon power. Honestly, I'd want to pick up an Idris or maybe even a Ringo here, just to have that, high damage carry in my back pocket.
They do get the Lance and they ban the Black Feather.
Could we be seeing Ringo pick up there?
It's looking quite likely.
Well, the thing is, if you ban Black Feather is really good against those squishy mage-type heroes and some, like, Ringos in your boxes. He's really good at those. So, this, you open up Samuels, you open up your Vox and your Ringo to just have no hard counters. Well, they do have, like, Glaive is going to mess up their day, surely. Yeah. But then, obviously, when you play those heroes, the heroes you're scared of when you play them are Alpha and Black Feather, and sometimes even Cruel. Especially this patch with that amazing buff he got. So I respect that ban, and they have gone for the Ringo. Black Feather is a normal counter to Ringo, and the Koshka's been taken away. So all he's got to be worried about now is Taka.
Taka, Lance is quite good into Taka, so he can use his Githian wall very effectively if you don't use it when he can Chitin, and Impales will destroy Taka because he needs to get around without being seen.
Yeah, you lock Attacker down for longer than a second, he's probably dead. Yeah.
The Koshka ban is just sensible, because they couldn't guarantee they were going to get Koshka themselves. They have to make sure that Team B can't get them. And they are going into a bonus time, just making sure, thinking about maybe Vox to counter this as just a good laner to counter Ringo. They're probably not going to go Idris. I might probably pick Idris, or this is when I might actually try the weapon power Ozo, because he gets onto Ringo so fast with a Shiver Steel and a tanky weapon power, Serpent's Mask, breaking points, all you really need him. And he can melt, even without heal, because you have the buff from Arden, which gives him a lot more barrier. It's heal and buff he gets from his Carney Luck. But there we go, Samuel has been locked in. I did kind of expect it because of the Koshka ban. If we're going to be honest, Koshka's going to melt a Samuel in about 3 seconds. And the Black Feather.
And the Black Feather. As soon as the Black Feather got taken out, I was very surprised that they didn't pick up the Samuel, actually, because he is a very powerful pick. But if you miss a Madison Verdict on a Ringo, you're opening yourself up to a barrage of destruction of fiery bullets, because he's bound to have the tier 3. But there's the Vox. We're going to be having a jungle Samuel here, which I do prefer my jungle Samuels.
Kestrel is open.
Is Kestrel good in this situation, would you say?
I'd say, if you're going for poke, I'd say Kestrel v Samuel. I think it's risky, but you can beat a Samuel with Kestrel's poke, because
I would pick Taka here. I would pick CP Taka. Think about it, like, he destroys Samuel and does really well against Vox too.
And he destroys Vox. Obviously, we don't know how comfortable these players are.
There it is.
Well done.
We know our stuff. We're good with the drafts. We know exactly what we're talking about. I'm going to jump online so I can actually view this match this time and take notes properly. But there we go. The picks are there. That was a really good draft coming out from, I believe, Infamous is on the right-hand side. But no, it looks like the game,
I would agree.
Good. It was really. What was that, Mrs. Producer Man? Say that again for me. The screens aren't coming up, so the stream can't see what's happening. Well, we will describe it to best of our ability. The stream
can see the draft.
The stream can see the draft. They can't see the draft. They can definitely see the draft, but we're just trying to transition right now. But there you go. On this draft, I think I already know who you're going to pick, but I will have to ask you, who do you think is going to win this one?
I think it has to be Infamous. We've seen the Taka destroy people, and especially someone like a Samuel and a Vox who can dive them. Vox can jump away, so Taka just A's or has his speed boost, and he's caught up. That's
the problem. It's a double hard counter. You've got Taka can take them both on, and then they have a Ringo for extreme damage, and Lance is just kind of there for icing on top of the cake. But there are mine and Minimites' thoughts on the draft and the pre-match analysts. Let's swap over to our casters to see what they think about this matchup. Malafakarum, Imperium, over to you guys.
Thank you very much for that, our analysts. Appreciate that, Sketchy. Appreciate that, Mini. Yeah, these comps, and I think you guys calling it with that time, definitely bang on. And yeah, it's going to be interesting for E8 to see how they can fend off that Taka throughout the game. With me, I'm Malafakarum. I've got the awesome Imperium. How you doing, Imperium?
I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm absolutely looking forward to this match. It's both teams won their matches. But yeah, both teams won both their matches yesterday. So this is going to be kind of whoever can win this second match and kind of take a somewhat of a dominance in this series. I'm a little bit surprised that the Taka was picked because the Samuel Madison verdict can poke out the Taka in a team fight. I would like to have seen a Glaive pick on the side of Infamous because it can punt the Samuel or the Vox into a bad position. But let's see how they go with this. What do you think yourself?
Yeah, it's gonna be good to see how things work out. We can see from the Hanjägers and Anna EA in lane versus the SNK and Uni of Infamous. Obviously, Infamous yesterday with a very dominating performance against Impunity, and finishing, I believe, 14-0 in their final game of the series yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can put in quite as dominant of a performance today, or whether E8 aren't going to let them take that. E8 themselves put in a very commanding performance yesterday. So this is definitely going to be a great game as far as both these sides are concerned. We saw them, that we know that their team synergy is good. They know the mechanics of the game. They know how to play well. Hanjägers was especially good at his positioning in the early stages yesterday with his Ringo. I imagine he's going to be no worse with his Hanjägers, with his Vox even. There's Hanjägers there, and attempted impale by SNK, and a nice little dodge out there. So in these early stages, everything playing relatively passive. Perfect Blade as well, a notoriously good jungler for Infamous. And yeah, it's a passive start for both teams. I think we're going to see a more tactical game, with both these teams respecting each other as far as the potential they've got. But I do feel that the composition overall is going to of Infamous is slightly stronger.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan of ELITE8, and I do think they're gonna have this game. SNK on this Lance, he's gonna find it a little bit harder to nail down the Vox or the Samuel on the Impales, because both those heroes are very mobile. If they get it right, you do see this Impale on Hanjägers. If he does get it right and the Taka can burst in and Uni on the Ringo can take advantage of that, then we'll see a big advantage on the side of Infamous. But overall, if they don't get the Impale, I think it can possibly go against Infamous, and ELITE8 can take advantage of that bad positioning on the side of Infamous in those situations.
Yeah, we do see a little bit of damage being triggered. Those Madison verdicts doing a lot of damage to S, as well as those resonance bounces from Hanjägers. And it's going to force SNK through this backline. We do see Perfect Blade coming in with the engage, focusing down, trying to focus down Official Heim, but it isn't going to be enough, and Uni taking a lot of damage in return. SNK, ooh, very close to dying there himself. Jaegers now is going to be tempted to dash in. I know he is, but he's going to resist the urge and just put a little bit of damage down onto that turret instead. Anime taking a little bit of return damage from Uni. Meanwhile, Taka just kind of in the jungle, just farming away, trying to get themselves back to a good place.
Yeah, official high on the Samuel. See the early damage he's doing to SNK on that lance with those malice and verdicts. It's a big thing, and I think this is going to be a huge advantage on the side of Elite 8. Yeah, of course, Taka does need time to farm up to get his Storm Crown Aftershock, and of course that will be more damaging. And we did see that early impale on SNK when Perfect Blade did come in. But I really think the official high on this Samuel is going to be a game changer should he get either on the Ringo or the Taka and wipe them both out.
Yeah, we see SNK pick up the Fountain there. Meanwhile, Fountain Arden over on the enemy team. So this could be a good potential for Perfect Blade to go in there. That's a lot of damage returned onto Perfect Blade, though. He did not expect that to come in. I think he took a full Malice and Verdict to the face, and you can see those Malice and Verdicts being thrown out by official Hein quite regularly. It is going to be enough to push Infamous back despite that engage. So you can kind of see what Infamous are doing here. They're trying with this poke game, and if they manage to get a successful amount of damage against the enemy team, then they're going to push for the big engage and the team fight. They're testing the water every single team fight, and if they do manage to get a good pick and a decent impale, you're going to see Perfect Blade and Nooney focus down at the target pretty damn hard. Obviously, both of them at this stage not quite revved up to where they're going to be in the late game. That Crystal Tycho especially. But we do see the Sorrow Blade picked up on Ringo now. That might be the green light they need to really go for these team fights. Impale does miss from SNK. Jaegers taking some damage, but managed to back off as well. Oh, that damage was huge there from Uni. It finished off nicely with Perfect Blade. He does get first blood for Team Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous did great too. Uni did great to take the Vox down on a low health, and Perfect Blade finished him off with the X-Retsu and that Taka damage. Because if you notice, Taka got Crystal that Eclipse Prism, and I believe what is Heavy Prism before he finishes Storm Crown. So he is going for that kind of maximum damage. And what do we see here, Mal?
Yeah, we see another engage coming in there. Huge damage onto the Arden there from Perfect Blade in that backline. Hung doing a successful job of dealing enough return damage to Perfect Blade to drive him away. Jaegers might be able to get some damage down onto this turret at least as a little bit of favour. Meanwhile, in the jungle, they're in pursuit of official Hein on Samuel, who's got no mana. He does get the passive proc, but there is... Oh, he might actually get Perfect Blade here, but it's not quite going to be enough. And Lance actually is going to pick up that kill in the end. So that's 3 kills going over to Infamous. Uni did return in order to save that turret. So no return objective there for Jaegers to kind of help balance out the gold there. And a 2k gold, well, 1.5k gold starting to push up already for Team Infamous.
Yeah, I do like the fact that official Hein is respecting the damage coming out of the Taka, and he got an early light shield. And getting Eve of Harvest will give him greater sustain on the Samuel. But I'd like to see something like a Frostburn coming out by official Hein. So if the Taka or even the Ringo go at them, he can use the Frostburn to slow them down and give them a better chance of potentially winning a team fight should they be able to kite back. But Perfect Blade...
It's just really good. Yeah, you see that engage there straight. It does force the Fountain out of anime, actually. Perfect Blade is just playing a really aggressive Taka, and I think it's just, like I said, exactly how Taka, you see the gauntlet being thrown down, does manage to land a nice stuff. Jaegers trying to follow up the damage, but the Fountain came out as well onto Uni. Uni trying to stay alive, isn't going to manage to do it. Meanwhile, we did see the kill picked up by Perfect Blade. Really good flare there, did spot him out, but they're still going to get away successfully. We do see a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, but you look at this Shatterglass. Shatterglass on Perfect Blade. He's going, nah. Okay, I could get a Storm Crown. I could farm a little bit quicker. But no, I want to be able to wipe out the Samuel because I'm a little bit wary of the damage that can come out of Samuel. So I'm going to make sure that if I get a Shatterglass, I can do maximum impact and maximum damage. And we see that work for Perfect Play so far. So that was a great first item. First full tier 3 item pick up by him, and he's also followed up by a little bit of weapon power defense just to make sure he's a little bit more defensive in this match. And we see, go on.
So the gold mine dance has started already. Pale there by SNK, meaning that both teams are going to back up and return to lane. But there's the Hellfire Brew coming out onto Fish Run just to try and damage that, and the X-Retsu. That's huge damage coming out of them, and that is a deleted Samuel. That combination of ultimates there and the damage overall from Perfect Blade, just so much for Samuel at this point in the game, is going to force him to be eliminated from this. And it is going to mean that we've got a nice stun again, give you all into there. Really good pick there from SNK onto the box, allows the cleanup from Perfect Blade, and does allow Infamous to then take a turret. This is Vainglory by numbers being shown by Infamous here. Kill after turret after goldmine. They will turn their attention. Yet they've already turned their attention to goldmine, and this is just exactly how Vainglory needs to be played if you're going to be successful.
Yeah, this shows. I've got to give absolute full props to SNK and Perfect Blade. They are working together brilliantly. SNK is getting these impales on either before or after Perfect Blade engages, and it means that they are getting the majority of these kills. And although I agree with this Samuel pick, as we see an engage now onto the Arden, well,
yeah, there's another Arden death there with the engage coming out from Perfect Blade. Perfect Blade really key to these engages right now. I do like the synergy we're seeing between the Infamous guys.
Yeah.
The damage being very focused. Oblivion does drop. It's blocked by Uni. Does land on Perfect Blade, but there is no follow-up damage at this point in the game. And they are just going to take the turret and back off. And now we see 2 turrets, 1 gold mine, and 7 kills at the 10-minute mark for Infamous. It's looking really positive for them right now. Perfect Blade is just going to return to his jungle, get a little bit more farm if needed, and then head back and get his next purchases. But yeah, it's looking pretty scary for Hanyegas and co at this point in the game.
Yeah, they're snowballing. They're snowballing pretty damn well with the 7 kills to 1 on their side. Yeah, okay, they have only got, well, I wouldn't say only, it's about 11 minutes in. They've got about a 5k lead, but more importantly, they're controlling the jungle. They're controlling the fights, and as I mentioned before Arden got killed, although I agree with the Samuel pick to try and help defer against Taka, they haven't got a melee hero that can jump on Uni or can cause a bit more of a distraction. So therefore they have to back off. They have to try and fight them back. As you see another engage now from Infamous Mal.
Yeah, these engages are coming thick and fast, and we see ultimate coming out there. The silence does land, but it's not gonna enough to save them, and we do see 2 kills going down. That's 3 kills, that's an ace, and they're going to push straight onto this turret. Kraken is not up, Goldmine isn't looking like a positive option at this stage in the game, so they have nothing but this turret, and they're taking this out before the minion wave even gets to it. Are they going to go then and return it to the jungle? They're not going to push it any more than that. We have got 2 members of the enemy team back up and running, but so they're not going to get greedy. I'm surprised they didn't think about taking a Crystal Sentry on the way out, but they've turned their attention. They're going to go for Goldmine. They figured, you know what, it's not full, but it's efficient, and we've got the opportunity. We may as well take advantage. So they're just going to extend their gold lead that a little bit more and take a decent payout in gold, 170 gold each, which is nothing to be sneered at, because that is it's going to also avoid the enemy team having the gold in that gold mine to capitalize and make a comeback.
Yeah, it's exactly as you say. They're just being efficient. I get why they didn't go for the Crystal Sentry because two members of the ELITE were up, and they're better off staying efficient and just get this gold mine of the gold, even though it's only a decent gold payout. It's essentially, as you see, a fruit on the side of Perfect Blade. Slight mistake, but they're controlling the jungle. They're controlling the fights. They're basically saying, you want to take us on, you're gonna have to come to us. But ELITE8 know that they can't really take the fight to Infamous. Infamous are controlling it. Also, each fight that Infamous win, they're taking about a 1k gold to 1.5k gold extra. They're now up to nearly 7k gold lead With 13 minutes in, 10 kills to 1. This is dominance by Infamous, and it's only a matter of time before I would imagine they will take it on. What do you think yourself as they look for another engagement?
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, Infamous firm control of it. It's just a matter of time. The only way that ELITE8 are going to make the make a comeback at this stage if they can manage to secure a really strong ace and then push those objectives in a big way. You know, get a crack and get a couple of turrets in one big push to even this up. But they've got two options at this point in the game. They can go on the back foot, they can start playing defensively, hopefully get a few more items and then get a lucky team fight or a team fight that goes in their favor, or they can be aggressive. And the thing is that they have no control over the jungle. It really eliminates the aggressive option for them. And every time they've tried to be aggressive, Infamous have successfully capitalized on that vision and that control and managed to turn a team fight in their favor. So Infamous is just doing a really good job of controlling the game in a way that it leaves ELITE8 with very few options to play the game by Infamous's rules, and that is why they're putting on such a dominating force right now.
Yeah, look at all the vision in jungle put down by SNK. It's fantastic to see as a support player putting down those scout traps. So if in any way ELITE8 do get, let's say, a kill and make it 3v2, that Infamous have this vision that they can run around ELITE8 and potentially get this advantage on their side. So as they go for Kraken Mel, do you think they'll push it as we see ELITE8 are going to try and steal it?
No, I don't think we're going to see a steal here. They've managed to do a good job putting Vision still hasn't clocked onto it, although Anime does drop the gauntlet, and that is no. Infamous are still going to pick up. They actually did get there in time, but Infamous did a good job of keeping it. That gauntlet doing a good job of holding them at bay. They are just going to do it. We do see a fountain being popped, and there's the return kill, the return damage, and there's Hellfire Brew being thrown out onto Anime of all people. Is going to drive that Ardent away. We see the flare coming down to kind of see how low they are. A couple of Madison verdicts en route from Official Hein, who is very healthy, and SN Gaming does need to be quite careful of this fact. Anime and Honjaegers are going to need to back up. That is a very bad place for Honjaegers to back there. Oof. SNK was debating rolling over that wall, and if he had, that would have been a very embarrassed SNK. Sorry, Honjaegers even. But yeah, no, we do see now a very healthy Kraken in on the turret and a very healthy team. There's a lot of damage coming out from that perfect blade on that Tucker now, and that is a quick turret destroyed. Uni is taking a lot of damage. There is going to be him going down. That's going to be the next turret though. SNK is the next target. Perfect Blade is the only remaining member of Inf. Are they going to match down capability? They do take down Perfect Blade. That is the ace in favor of ELITE8. Are they going to take down this Kraken? It looks like they will, and this is going to be a little bit of an upset for the Infamous team, who were hoping to finish the game here, but they're going to successfully defend it. And that Vein Crystal is on such low health right now, but it's still got health, therefore it's still standing. So well played to ELITE8 on managing that successful defense. However, it puts them in an incredibly vulnerable position. And now you see the scout traps being laid down by ELITE8, very aware that they are against Ataka.
Yeah, like I totally saw what Infamous were trying to do. They were just trying to go, but they were aware of the risks of getting ace, but they knew that the minions, the turrets, that they still have all their turrets. That if they did get ace like they did, that ELITE8 weren't going to be able to take advantage of this, and it didn't pay off for Infamous from a finishing the game point of view, but it paid off for them that they've got ELITE8 down to just the vein, and they still control the map and the jungle. But we do see better scout traps and better vision coming out from Anime Save Me, and maybe this has rejuvenated them somewhat. Maybe it's given ELITE8 a bit of a psychological thought that they can potentially win a fight. But as you see an engage now on Infamous map.
Yeah, Infamous will look to do it. We did see a block there from Honjaegers used to try to avoid the hail. Isn't going to do many favours though when that hellfire really low on health. You see a lot of damage coming down onto Honjaegers. Honjaegers still very low on health. Resonance bounces as much as he can. He's throwing out. Perfect Blade though, the re-engage, and that is going to be a dead Vox. And they are looking for that Vein Crystal now. Uni is already on it and taking down third of its health almost already. A perfect blade with that ultimate and that damage is going to just walk in and finish this up as well. SNK, they saw the 3 versus 2, and this was only a matter of time before it happened. And they're going to turn their attention back down to that crystal just to finish it off nicely as Uni picks that one up. That is going to be GG and well played to Infamous.
Yeah, what even though we kind of did think that it was a matter of time before Infamous did end that match, one thing on the side of ELITE8 with that last fight is the Vox did go out of position. He pushed the lane up a bit too much. Infamous knew that he was on his own and they engaged on that. The oh my god, the Iron Ult, I totally forget the name, my apologies. Gauntlet, there you go, the Gauntlet became, instead of an offensive gauntlet, the gauntlet became a defensive gauntlet, and it just left ELITE8 in a lot more vulnerable position. As we saw, Infamous took advantage of that. GG, well played.
Yeah, no, it was a really good game. Dominating performance there from Infamous. Very by the numbers, Vainglory. And like I said, really good play from both teams in general, but they just had that dominating performance. We're going to pass it over now to our analysts in Minimiter and the Sketchy Brit. Guys, what did you make of that game?
Thank you very much, Malafakara Mini. I take intro. This is my content. Thank you very much.
I think just Sketchy Brit is still having some technical difficulties on my side, so I'll just kind of take it over with you, Minimiter, until Sketchy Brit comes back. Or do you want to
Imperium,
take over,
I can hear Sketchy. I can
hear him.
You're Imperium.
Okay, I can't, but sorry about that. I'll go mute.
No worries, Imperium. We'll leave them to talk.
Alright, so Minimiter, that game it felt like Infamous. It just had Infamous written all over it. That's I just want to point out the thing that I noticed the most near the end of the game there is that poor Samuel, I think he bought his broken myth at like 17 minutes in. His second offensive item. He's so underfed.
There's one thing was obviously they were behind in gold, they're behind in items, and Samuel didn't get enough damage. But the thing I noticed the most was Infamous was slightly ahead in gold, and Vox had 3,500 gold ready to spend. He didn't have a tier 3 item, and he died, and then he got Soul Blade Breaking Point straight away. And if he'd have gone to shop and then fought, then they might have been able to turn it around. But that was just so, because I could see him. He wanted to go to shop, but Infamous were there, so he couldn't. He went to his lane and then died, and they had a chance to turn it around, but
we did say this from the start, though. Taka hard countering 2 of the heroes is always going to put you on the back foot, and it really did. Like the damage Taka was outbooking. Like this is the Taka build I like. He didn't go for Stormcrown. He just sat on Stormguard banner. He built his actual offense, and therefore got to his burst quicker. Therefore, he killed faces. That's what he did.
It was so much better.
Faces and just killed them. Yes. So what we're doing right now is just waiting for the second draft. Not actually 100% where that is because I stuck.
And everyone listening, I would recommend try out building just Stormguard banner. If you think you should build a Storm Crown, build just the banner, build some items, and if you really need the Storm Crown, then get it. I now have a draft ready to go, but it's so much more powerful if you don't spend that extra money.
Yeah. All right. Looks like I see. I think I see the draft is ready. Are you ready, Minnie?
I am ready. Are you ready, Billy?
Are you ready? Are you ready, Mrs. Producer Lady? She's not ready. Okay, so we're going to talk about more stuff. Okay, we're going to just talk about one more thing quickly. Is Taka going to get banned?
I think he will. I think
that's 100% certainty. I wouldn't be surprised if he was first banned. They let a healer through.
I think they're currently thinking about, do we ban the healers or do we ban the Taka? Because if we ban the healers, we let Taka get first picked, and we saw that Taka can be first picked in the previous game. If you have a good enough Taka, then he can't be cancelled.
He was last picked, remember?
No, not in this previous game. In a game earlier.
I know. I remember. Yeah, he can be used really well. But then if you get Taka first pick, you just do what you can. So looks like we're looking at the drafts. You ready now, Mrs. Producer Lady? All right. Looks like we're going to be going into drafts very shortly. So without further ado, stream viewers, let's go. Hold it. 1 second. Into the draft.
There you go.
I don't know why
Exquisitely
she does a
timed.
I don't know why she does a countdown when she sends it into the drop when I go into the draft. Mrs. Producer Lady, you're fired. There's your first firing of the day. Get used to it. I'm gonna write your full complaint to me because I'm your boss. Kidding. But anyway, draft. Jesus no. But yeah, here we go. Draft is afoot. Draft is ready, and we're just talking about Takaban is probably definitely going to be a thing, but it looks like they're banning out the Adagio.
Won't be
first.
straight away.
It looks like they're hoping that they ban out Taka, so they pick up Lyra. That's actually a really good draft strategy coming up.
It's really smart. Because if you're going to pick if you want a healer, you want Lyra. Lyra is generally seen as stronger than Adagio at the moment.
It's because she has that full team heal, and Adagio only has the one burst.
And
Like, and it's all of her skills work as a roam, whereas Adagio has 2 skills that work as a roam. The buff, let's be honest, late game is pretty much like
bit meh.
It's a bit meh. Oh, but they did ban out the Lyra. Lyra is banned, and so
they Arden coming through.
Arden was picked on the blue side first time for ELITE8, and it didn't work out too well for them. So maybe Infamous have a little strategy in mind, or they're just picking Arden because they think he looks strong.
Yeah, or they probably just want the. They probably think that they can use the gauntlet a little bit better than in the previous game. Because if you're not behind, you can. Well, no, it wasn't a bad roam. It wasn't a bad captain. It was that they were behind, so they had to use the gauntlet defensively. And if you can get slightly ahead or even and use it offensively, then you'll be in a really good position. And Lance picked it up.
Where we saw that coming. Like I kind of want to see some Catherines and some Flickers just for the fun of it, but they just aren't meta enough. Essentially,
they're not.
Like
I'm surprised because Catherine got a big buff. She doesn't have to overdrive her B anymore. I believe it got increased damage, and I don't know why people don't pick Catherine. Maybe they're just
maybe they just don't like her. Oh yeah, we still didn't test out the bounce on the Catherine shield. We're still gonna do that.
What is it? Bounce.
Physics told us yesterday that Ringo did just get banned. For those who missed it, Catherine can bounce the reflex from the shield onto another Catherine shield, and that gets reflex back.
You can have like a Kettle one shot to do that.
No, it's Catherine on Catherine.
Yeah, but you need what's going to do all the damage, and that's very interesting bounce. Ringo, Blackfeather.
I mean, it opens up the Samuel again, I guess, but they've left Taka open. So Hero would just go Taka and just nullify, that make that Blackfeather ban useless.
Because Blackfeather counters Ringo quite well, and Ringo's off the fold. Maybe they.
There.
Maybe they have got
he gives Vox in problems as well. Blackfeather is known for giving Vox problems, like quite consistently, I think, all the way through the game. So
ELITE8 weren't prepared for that. I feel
they were not. That was the last ban they expected. That's on par with the Saw ban right there. So I think it might just be a psychological ban. It might just be.
It may just be a throwaway. We've got our comp we won.
Yeah, you ain't gonna take it from us. you know that when ELITE8 take the comp away from Infamous when they eat into their bonus time. They're like, We'll see if they go into their bonus time. We know that it was a hero they wanted, essentially.
Yeah, that's how it works. It's like, I really wanted Blackfeather.
So they banned it themselves. But they go. ELITE8, they are really eating into their bonus time right now. They have spent.
They really are.
They're really thinking about this one. This one's crucial because they've got to take out these guys. Beat Impunity. Infamous are pretty much the top boys right now. You think Taka? I think Glaive. Oh, it's Glaive. Look at that.
Oh, do you now? Well done. Good thinking.
I thought of that before it came on screen. Yeah, I can do that. I'm psychic. Glaive's picked, and Koshka quick pick up. They know what they're going for.
They didn't need to think about that for very long.
No. Koshka into Glaive. It couldn't come work because both of them are kind of bursty, and I'd say Koshka does beat Glaive. But if Glaive gets the punt first, Koshka can be in a bad situation. Yeah,
if Glaive punts whoever their next carry is going to be, if it's going to be a ranged squishy carry, or if it may even go for no, it has to be a ranged carry. I think
it's got to be. I'm seeing Vox, because they banned the Blackfeather. They kind of got to pick up Vox. They're eating into bonus time though, so maybe Glaive was the hero they wanted. But that Koshka Glaive,
that Koshka Glaive is very good.
Very powerful.
Yeah, it shows
you can burn out reflex blocks with the Glaive, burn out the reflex blocks with the Glaives, and then to the Yummy Catnip Frenzy, and then
especially with an Arden.
Exactly. Gauntlet as well. Yeah. Layer Gauntlet, Layer Afterburn. Too many things to block, and Yummy Catnip Frenzy will land. So I will.
That 2 point something seconds done is an awful lot.
Yeah. Alright, so
They could even go Sky possibly here.
I would probably go Gwen actually.
Immediately block the afterburn.
Oh, they gone
Or
dual?
dual.
They're going for that triple melee.
Yeah, lots of dive.
Both of them do technically beat Glaive, so they've got to really think of someone here who's going to work well against a duel and a Koshka. You can't pick Rhyme.
Haven't got that much time. No,
yeah, they
no,
haven't.
You can't.
Rhyme is out of the question here.
Rhyme's okay into duel, but not into Koshka duel. It won't work.
What do you think about Cruel then? Would Cruel be a viable option here, or like a or an alpha maybe?
Cruel would be okay, but the problem is Koshka. Cruel can't really keep up with Koshka if she gets the buff from Arden, because he can slow her a bit, but she just keeps getting so much speed boost.
Yeah. And they've gone for the no.
What's going on?
That's the worst pick.
Is that an accidental pick?
That might have been accidental.
Maybe they've got a comp. They must have a comp.
They must have an idea. They must have something in mind, because Scarf gets destroyed by Jewel, Koshka, and to an extent Arden.
Arden, because he has to block to get out the gauntlet. She can't block the jump. She can't block the Captain Frenzy.
He has no escape to get away from these guys. Like,
it's a goop, but Koshka's very quick and has jumps, 2 jumps, and Jewel has a jump.
Yeah,
Arden has a jump.
He has to hope that Glaive can help put it on the offensive from the early to really neuter like Scarf's entire game weakness until 20 minutes.
Glaive has to peel very, very well for this.
Really well. He's got a double peel. He's got to essentially be a meat shield. So we are going into the blind picks right now, giving the players the heroes that they selected and probably begrudgingly selecting Scarf. Maybe it's just like a last-ditch effort. Like they've played a lot of Scarf. They found a way for him to work. Let's see if they can. And let's see if our casters feel the same way about Scarf as we do. Those casters would be the mighty Maleficarum and Imperium. Over to you guys.
Thank you for... I've never been called mighty before. I like that. I like that. It's good. Yeah, that Scarf pick. Interesting pick up there. All I can say is that hopefully they've got a game plan. I would love for it to somehow miraculously work for them, but on paper that does not sound like a smart pick. Let's see if it was intentional. Let's see what they do with it. At least it's got a beautiful skin. So if they do die, they're going to die in style because they're all golden and shiny. But we'll see how this pans out for Elite 8. After that first game, maybe they're just thinking of comfort picks, or they've got a composition in mind or a game plan in mind. What are your thoughts going into this, Imperium?
I'm by all means like Mini Miter and Sketchy Beard, absolutely surprised that the Scarf was picked. Personally, I'm a huge fan of Scarf. I absolutely love Scarf, especially late game. But it's risky. It's definitely risky by Elite 8. I think with the Glaive, they do have the chance to, let's say, divert the likes of Koshka and Jewel away from the Scarf. And you do have Lance. With Lance on that Impale would be very, very important come mid to late game once Scarf is very well stacked up and built up in items. So we'll see. I'm going to personally say Elite 8 because I'm a fan of Scarf and I want to see that Scarf succeed. Absolutely love that skin, but it's definitely going to be hard because we all know that Jewel, even though its weapon power is very dangerous with the Thunder Strikes, very dangerous with the Rocket Leap, as we've seen. Engage, Mal?
Yeah, we do see another early engage here, and Uni going very... saving his life. Good play from SNK there to save the life of Uni. Uni's still hanging around. He's got the fountain popping, and the thing is just going to rely on that fountain to heal up so he doesn't lose too much farm, because otherwise he's going to lose quite a bit of farm here with the way the lane is currently pushed. And Jaeger's managed to land the goop into the fireball, and that's going to actually get a good amount of damage back onto Uni as well. But yeah, this is some aggressive play from Han Jaegers at this early stage of the game. He's landing the goops perfectly as far as keeping this lane in a good position.
He is. It's fantastic play. See, but even though he was 3-on-2, we saw that early engage by Official Hine on that Glaive, where he can afterburn and put that Jewel out of position, and then you have that Impale by Anime Sabian. This is what we want to see. Okay, the Koshka will make a difference come middle late game when he does get into that position, but I'm really all for Elite 8 on this comp, and I think it's going to be very dangerous, and it's going to put Uni in a position where he's gonna have to be careful where he is. The Vanguard on SNK is going to be important, and the likes of the Gauntlet when he does reach level 6. But so far, Elite 8 are showing their early game dominance despite the scarf on it. That's what I think so far. Anyway, Matt.
Yeah, no, I think you know, I'm not going to call anything at this stage because these are both very good teams. These guys know exactly what they're doing, and Jaegers has been completely on point with the Goop and Spitfire so far. And you know, he's doing a really good job of keeping this late in a comfortable position for him, where he can just farm up, get the items. There's the engage coming out of Uni. Doesn't get the follow up. Good play from Anime to save. His Anime saved Jaegers today, not Anime saved me. And does a good job of the peel and disengage there for Elite 8. We do
As you see
the
Koshka coming up.
Yeah, Koshka, perfect blade in that ground. There goes Anime walking into the thing. Does get Official High now in a vulnerable position, taking a lot more damage like afterburns away to avoid that re-engage from Uni, and that is going to mean that they are safe but low. However, Jaegers is still very healthy and managed to successfully farm up still. He's literally just playing very calmly. You know, he's not overextending. He's not pushing this lane up too far. He's managing to avoid most of the damage from Mooney. Does take a little bit, okay? But he's getting a little bit lower now. You can just see the damage coming out of Jewel on those. Overall, it's just huge. Visual High going very low as well, and Anime is going to be taking the jungle away from his teammates, and he's just, you can see the whole of Infamous now grouping together, obviously want to get that engage as soon as possible for them. And
sorry,
carry on.
Yeah, no, just to touch on what you said, Infamous are grouping very well together. When the Koshka did come up, they did play very well together to put a little bit of pressure on Elite 8. Scarf did keep to himself, but he did go low at one point, and then went low again. As you see another slight engage and aggression on the side of Infamous now.
Yeah, no, we just see them going back and forward a little bit here. SNK going a bit lower than he'd like. Really aggressive engage from Uni. Does do a little bit of damage, but that Impale is going to cost Uni another turret shot there. And it does actually work out in favour of Elite 8 from that trade. Jaegers is playing really well underneath turret right now, managing to farm effectively still for the most part. And Anime's doing a really good job of peeling for him. Wow, huge root, huge Githian wall. Jaegers getting a little bit too close to comfort though. He really did not want to get that close, and he does pay the price, taking the damage, and it actually goes over to Arlen for the first one. There's the kitty catnip frenzy, and that is going to be another Anime save me go down. But he was going for the impact to try and take out one or two members. However, Official High now does pick up a double kill. Can he clean house? Official High getting into the game. I think SNK is going to manage to get himself away. Will SNK get greedy here? If he does, Official High manages to get this, it's going to be good for him. I don't know if he wanted to be there. SNK, why are you doing that, bro? Why are you doing that? Why did you do it? He did avoid the ace though because his teammates were up, but that seemed like an unnecessary play from SNK. He was probably hoping to take that Treant away, but when it went over to Glaive, he really should have got his butt out there. But either way, did avoid the ace by waiting that long as his teammates were up, so it could have been a lot worse. So good play in that sense. But at the same time, questionable play by still going after Glaive.
It was always going to be a little bit 50-50 in that situation. I've done that myself plenty of times, as loads of other people have done, and look, sometimes it's either going to work out and sometimes it isn't. Jaegers in that last fight, as you see a bit more of an engagement. No, as Jaegers in that last fight got a little bit too close for comfort in the Uni, as you see in engagement.
Yeah, no, we do see the teams just keep trading back and forward at this point in the game, and I think with Elite 8, I want to say to them, they are defending this turret very well, and with the composition that Infamous have got, they haven't got a great siege club. They don't have much in the way of poke, with the exception of Jewel, and they can't really, they have to go for these big, aggressive, full team fight plays in order to get some serious damage down onto these turrets. We do see them pick up an unchallenged gold mine there with an instant gold power. Really lovely Githian wall there. That is always a cool sight to see. Uni jumping in there, and that's a great Githian wall away from the Lance. Just shows how well that Lance can be utilised with all these high engaged heroes that you see. in the game.
He is a great support that likes a Scarf. On a side note, I didn't kind of get a side chance to touch on it, but I love the fact that when Jaegers, as we see, engage in Anime Save Me.
Yeah, a little bit of fight going down there, and the big red button is going to pick onto Lance down there. We do see them now going after Official Hind, returning to lane. Perfect Blade going as aggressively as Official Hind going very low, very quickly, but that turret is taking a lot more shots than giving a lot more shots than they would like. They are just going to clear that wave and push it in. However, one group into Spitfire is going to do a good job there. The Spitfire actually blocked from the goop. We do see a really good gauntlet come down there. The block did come up, but I don't think it was enough in order to block it. And we do see them now turn their attention tanking this turret. Good impale comes out from Anime, and that's Uni going very low. Ooh, I think if Anime had decided to poke in a little bit more during that, we would have seen Uni die. However, Anime decided to back off just that little bit more, and it does allow Infamous to pick up. Oh, try to go for a sneaky aggressive play there, but the back happened just in time. Does force a quick block out of Anime as well. So first objective going over to Infamous.
Yeah, this is... Elite 8 need to take a little bit step back, and they need to look at how they're approaching this game as a team. I think when they do play as a team, and when they are going into a team fight as a 3-man team, I think they can have the better of Infamous. But right now, Infamous are working far better as a team, and they're catching out the likes of Anime Save Me. They're catching out Jaegers, and it's not the most, it's not the best thing on the side of Elite 8 that for them to see. They need to work better together, make sure that when they are being engaged on, as they seem to be now.
Yeah, we do see the engage there, but Official Hind force uses afterward away. All 3 members caught in the goop into Spitfire. The Fan of Flames doing a lot of work there on all of the team members. Out comes the Dragon's Breath, and we do see so much damage coming out. Official Hind, again, doing great work with that afterburn, forces SNK out of position, and we do see the whole of his team fighting away. Did survive a quite surprising large amount of time, but the ace still goes over to Elite 8. Huge pickup for them there with that, and they're actually going to take a kill lead as well. Not quite a gold lead just yet, but when they take this, they will be doing it, and we can already see that Glaives working away on that gold miner as well. So that's going to be a turret, an ace, a turret, and a gold mine going in favour of Elite 8, and that is going to be a huge upset, now putting them in the gold lead.
Yeah, but that's what I was talking about. You saw that Elite 8, they work together as a 3. They work together as a team. Yeah, okay, Infamous did engage first, and they did try to take them out, but Elite 8 were there as a 3. And when they're there as a 3, you have the Impale from Lance, you have the Githian Wall from Lance, you have the Afterburn from Glaive, and then you have the Scarf in the background putting down the goops, putting down those Spitfires, getting that ult off. It paid off for them in that situation, and Infamous will need to back off and reevaluate how they go into these team fights.
Yeah, no, I do think there was a really good Spitfire for Scarf there in that early engager. We do see a bush of death waiting for Anime, but that is going to be an offensive gauntlet thrown down, and it is going to catch out Anime in return. But that's not going to be enough. We do see Founding procs as a result. Actually, whole of Infamous looking relatively unhealthy at this point. Perfect Blade hanging in the back lines with only half health. There's the big red box trying to even things up. Jaegers taking the most focus of that. He's going to go down to half health. We do see now the Dragon's Breath coming out. He's going to be chasing down SNK. In jumps Uni to try and stun him up. We do see the Rocket Leap and the Thunder Strike doing good work, but it's not enough. And that's another ace going over to Elite 8. Holy hell, that was a brilliant turnaround for Elite 8.
Yeah, it was fantastic. They defended the initial engage by Infamous again. It was a fantastic block on the Koshka ult. It's the second time that they blocked the Koshka ult. It meant that okay, the gauntlet did do a lot of work, and it was a very nice gauntlet on the side of SNK. But again, they can't get to the Scarf. They just can't. Glaive and Lance are protecting that Scarf. Lovely. Jaegers is guiding them, not getting too close like he did in the early game as he saw. He's stepping back. He's making sure that when he is getting those goops and when he is getting those Spitfires out, that he's getting them to the most effective state. And as we see, Hunjägers is following Official Hein, so they can somewhat hyper farm Hunjägers, and it's very clever what they're doing. It means that Hunjägers is getting to his maximum build as quickly as possible so that they can get maximum damage output in those team fights. What do you think Infamous are going to be able to do from now?
Well, this is going to be the interesting thing. I mean, Infamous are quite a experienced team. They're a reserve team. They're not going to. Well, I wouldn't expect them to start playing more irrationally. I think they will adapt and change their game plan. They are one of the. They have more experience. They know how these games can go and how things can turn around. You see the strikes there from Joel. Good gauntlet thrown down. Big Red Barn is going to push the entirety of the enemy team away. Official Hein very low. There's a good rocket leap in, and that is going to be good damage going down. However, Perfect is right in the middle of all that, taking a lot of damage. Good bouncing is going to keep people alive, and that's going to be a double kill now going over to Infamous. That's the shutdown. Anime is in a bad position. He does not want to be there. He's going to get caught out. Perfect Blade, though, is very low health. I don't know if he wants to go toe-to-toe with the Crystal Sentry right now. There's a lot of dancing around going from Anime. There is a missed Impale trying to do it, and I think they're just going to leave Anime alone and focus on the objectives as they get another turret. This is Infamous, like I said, despite that previous ace, you can tell they're reserved. They turn it around. They focus on what they need to do, and then they get the plays they need to make. And this just has shown the experience of this team.
Yeah, the difference between that fight and the last fight is that fight was in the jungle and the last fight was in the lane. Infamous want to fight in the jungle because, as you saw Uni do, Uni can leap over a wall and jump on Hunjägers. He can jump over anything to get to the enemy that he wants to. Perfect Blade can ult over the wall and get to Hunjägers or Official Hein. That's where they want to fight. They want to fight in the jungle. Whereas Elite 8, they need to fight in the lane. Because if they fight in the lane, they can back off towards their turret. They can back off and kite Infamous. Whereas Infamous, they want to fight in the jungle as we see some kind of engage. Both teams scouting each other out, Mal?
Yeah, they were trying to get on the gold mine, but Elite 8 realizing did come and stop that occurring as the Kraken now spawns, stopping them getting that little bit of gold just before the Kraken spawning. And we do see the dance now. Flares being thrown out across the board. The infusion coming out onto Scarf, so Hunjäger is going to be in a really good position now for when that team fight does break out, inevitably. At this point, it's a very tight game, and right now, I'm surprised by Infamous, but at the same time, it's a really nice play to get sneaky. In fact, they probably would have got away with that Kraken had they not thrown out that flare. The fact they threw out that flare gave away that they were doing. And if they hadn't done that, they might have actually been able to sneak that Kraken away in quite a hilarious manner. But we do see SK, like I said, all these flares getting thrown out across the board. Everyone likes to see where everyone is, and it's good to know no one's waiting in the wings and no one's going to catch off a Perfect Blade when they do engage. Uni is looking for that rocket lead. Official Hein and Anime are in position, and they're all going to back off into that lane. We do see the lit group in the middle there just is going to keep people at bay. Uni just making sure that lane stays and remains pushed. As there's Infamous turn their attention back to Kraken again. They're trying this Kraken. They're going to see if they can sneak something away. Uni is just like, okay, I'm going to keep poking you guys. You guys keep going. And we're seeing a bit of a standoff going on here, right?
Yeah, Infamous are trying to kite Elite 8 to the jungle area, which is what they need to do. They're trying to kite them because they know they have a better jungle. They have a better fight in the jungle. And it's very clever what Infamous are doing, but I also give props to Elite 8 because they're going, okay, look, I see what you're trying to do, but we're not going to let you do that. And one thing I must point out is I love that Anime Save Me has gotten a Eclipse Prism, so that when he does land the Gitting Wall, when he does land the Impale, it's giving a lot better output. As you see this Kraken, Mal?
Yeah, they have turned their attention to Kraken again, and it did manage to sneak it. They bided their time. They managed to pick up the Kraken and sneak it away. Big Red Button does get thrown out. Fusions across the board are being lit up, and this is good for Infamous here, as they are delaying Elite 8 from getting to lane and to doing it. If they can manage to pick up a kill here, in the early stage before the Kraken gets the thing is probably not the ideal situation. You want to try and get them and kill the enemy team as the Krakens get into turret to give you an advantage at the turret position. But all three members managed to back for Elite 8, and they will wait and defend this turret as we see Spitfire's been thrown out from Jaegers, and that Kraken's starting to go down in damage. They have been able to successfully defend their turrets earlier in the game. That's a good afterburn into stun. Good block comes out. Rocket Leap in onto Jaegers. There's the Catnip Frenzy. And then we see Official Hein taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down 2 Jewel. Anime is taking more damage in turn. Impale does miss. That's going to be a turret. Perfect with no mana at this point in the game. Uni, very low on mana as well. Jaegers getting so low. Oh my god, the pick up there from Uni. Impressive stuff coming out of Infamous. And this could be game right here, right now. That's a double kill. That's unbeatable. And that's an ace. There's a turret going down. Kraken is pushing in, and this is going to be, look how low Uni is right now, needing a Vanguard just to look like he has any health, and that is going to be the game going over to Infamous. GG.
That was I'm a little bit speechless from that. Full props to Infamous. I did say they had a better fight in the jungle, and they did seem to work a little bit better together as a team. We saw that gauntlet being put out by SNK when they took the Kraken, it stopped the Lance from trying to steal it. We saw Uni jump on the Scarf at that absolute pop kill by the base. It's absolutely fantastic. And overall, Infamous, big props to ELITE8. They did